Welcome to Mama's Gone Wild Television. I'm Nikki Woods, and my co-host is Mary Boyce.
Hello, mamas.
This is a place for busy women, mothers, single, married, whatever.
I was looking at my watch.
Oh, because you're busy,
Yeah,
right?
I'm busy. I don't have a
She's
lot of
busy.
time.
This is where we can share our concerns and vent some of our frustration and also talk about different issues that affect us. And today we are talking about the statement, it takes a village to raise a child. Now, whatever that may mean to you, whether it means that you have adopted a child or you have taken in a child of a family member, or if you just need extra hands on deck like most of us do, whether they're your children or not, we want to talk about it. And discussing it with us today is Tanasha Anders, who actually adopted or took custody for a few years of a family member, and she's going to tell us more about that. And then Karen Powers, who has to rely on family members, especially mother-in-law, to help her take care of her cute young son as she comes to work every day. So let's start with you, Tanasha. Tell us a little bit about your situation and how that came to be and what effect it had, because you truly are the village, taking in a child and helping raise some, that's not biologically yours.
It's that statement may be cliche-ish, but it is definitely true. I had the opportunity to have custody of my cousin, who was a teenager at the time, a couple years ago. Basically, her teenage years from 14 to 15, she got into a little trouble, a lot of trouble, and was in a group home situation a couple hours removed from when I lived in Indianapolis, and she was in Gary. And so we had to step in as a family, and once we learned what was going on, and basically figure out how we were going to do things, because we definitely didn't want her on that path of getting into more trouble.
Absolutely.
And so it was a doozy, because you're dealing with the court system, you're dealing with various family members, and if they're being removed from a home and then placed into another member's home, you have a lot of dynamics going on there. But at the end of the day, it's about the best interest of the child. And so,
And tell the good news. I was going to say, because I can barely hold it, but she's in college
yeah,
now.
she's headed to college now. She's 18, and she did very well once she was removed out of that setting, and basically surrounded by family that didn't play. We basically like, we love you. Here's the path that we have set for you in regards to your plans, and let's get it together.
So how did it end up being you, Tanasha?
And that family dynamics played into that, because she resided with her grandmother, my mother's sister, and they didn't get along.
Okay.
And so there was no way that she was going to let her go into my mother's home without it being a lot of family drama. So in essence, what we did was we kind of took a family vote, my mother, my sister, and I, in Indianapolis, and I was probably the most prepared to be able to take her in. And so our deal was to get her, make sure that she was in a good school system and a good home and what have you. And then from there, if any transition happened, then she would go.
Right.
My mother would take on a responsibility. And basically, when I had her living with me in Indianapolis, it still took a village, because she was either over my mother's house or my sister's house, in which they have the same age children. My nephews are about the same age as my cousin, and so she was constantly surrounded by children her age, and just being able to make sure that we were all on the same page as far as talking to her about a lot of different issues. She was exposed to a lot in regards to group home settings, so talking about sex, talking about goals, but it boiled down to rules and expectations for her. And I was surprised about that, and we had to go through a lot of foster care training and all that in regards to taking on the onus of having her. But it did. It's like once you set the parameters and said, "Hey, this is what's going to happen," and know the rules clearly and up front. And if you mess the rules up, then here's what you have to deal with.
Kids really, they
respond to that.
They want boundaries.
Yeah,
they really do.
and I thought that I was surprised by that. But once we jacked her up a couple times, she was good.
All right,
We'll
Gary,
delete that from the tape later. But even if it's your own biological child, I mean, I think that in my situation, I mean, I have two young boys, 9 and 8, and when I moved to Dallas, I don't think I really understood, like what that support system does for you. I mean, my entire family on my side and on their father's side is in Chicago. So when I moved to Dallas, I was like, whoa, then you have to create your own village. And I know with Karen has a young son that's 2, and just, obviously your job is extremely demanding. You're married, and now with this baby, how did you reach out and kind of structure your village?
Well, it wasn't that hard. I mean, similar to you, my whole family's in Chicago, but my husband's parents live in our same neighborhood, so it was just pretty natural, and it just worked out really. And also, his mom just needs something to do as well. She was really, she needs something to do. I mean, it's good for her. It helps her. It makes her feel better to be helpful to us. So when our baby was born, it made perfect sense for her to take
Now, has
him
that
every
presented
day.
any challenges though? Having a mother-in-law with
Any
sure she
infighting
has her,
in the village? No.
I'm sure she has a way of doing things, and you may have had a different way. Has that ever come up, or has it all been pretty smooth?
Not really. I just let her do it her way when she has them. I mean, she doesn't do anything that's totally out the ordinary, but she just does. I just let her have her control in her
That's
house.
probably the best way to do it.
And I mean, it's been a lot of talk, especially, with as many families as you said, broken homes. Now we have single mothers, we have, parents on drugs, and other family members have to step in. What do you suggest to people, I guess, as they look to structure a village? First of all, I'll just say in my case, it doesn't have to be family, because Mary became my village very quickly. So it doesn't have to be family, but what would you suggest to others that may need help in structuring their village or looking for support? You. You.
That's hard because I really don't know what I would do without family members. If it wasn't for his family living here, I really don't think I may have had to move back to Chicago, because I really don't know that I could trust a stranger with a child that young.
Well, you could have called me.
I would have called, or yes, I mean, or if you have very close friends who can help you and have good suggestions. If you
and that's
have
part
friends
of it.
who know somebody who has done well in that situation.
I think with moms, especially professional, busy moms, I think that's a problem, us being willing to ask for help.
I was going to say that too. You have to basically really voice what your needs are, because I learned firsthand, just immediately overnight that I'm like, wow, I have this teenager in my house.
I couldn't even imagine.
After school, what's going on? I don't get off until 5,
have
and
teenagers.
it's scary. It's just like it's a whole new world.
Right,
so
it
you have to
is.
ask.
It is.
Well,
And you were young too. I mean, to
did
take
affect the
that
dating
on.
life.
give
I'm
up a
sure.
lot. You give up a lot.
We're not going to even
Yeah,
talk
that's a
about
whole
the
nother
dating life.
discussion. Yeah, it did. It
That's
did.
right. I was gonna say that's a whole nother
And
Mama's
it's
Gone
the-
Wild
And it's the
episode.
same way I was raised. I mean, when I was born, my parents decided to buy a house, but instead of getting a single family home, they purposely got a 2-flat, and my dad moved his mother on the first floor, and we lived on the second floor. So it was just really
Would you consider doing that
only
for
way.
us?
And
you get your own space.
Thank you, ladies. We also have some village advice on how we can get fit, and Lord knows with the summer the way it is, right? As we all suck it in. So we'll have some fitness advice for you now.
Hey, what's going on, Mom's Going Wild? This is Randy Fit Fury Viestris. I got some tips, They say who says mamas can't look sexy anymore? Here's the booty shaper tips to get your booty back into shape. Check this out. All right. First move, you're sitting here, you're gonna kick that leg out, heels pointing towards you, and lift up and squeeze the glutes. Kicking out, lift up and squeeze, just like that. The next exercise, you bring that leg in and you're gonna come out into a side raise, bringing that leg all the way up. Just like that. Next up, you're making big circles around forwards, just like that, big circles, and then going counterclockwise around the other way with those big circles. After that, you're going to kick out 10 or more kicks, rotate forward, rotate backwards, just like that. Repeat the same thing on the opposite side. If you're a beginner, try 10 to 15 reps. As you get better, go 30 to 45 seconds per exercise. Try 2 to 3 sets of this, circuits of this exercise, this routine right here. All right, you got it. Get those booties in shape. See you next time. Stay fit.
Thank you, Randy. That is Randy Viestris, our really cute fitness expert.
I feel thinner already.
Do you? I hate squats, but I guess if it's going to make the butt better, you got to do them. So you can get more fitness tips from him on his website at vbodypowerfitness.com.
Cool.
All right. So for a Mama's Gone Wild tip, we know as mothers of children that birthday parties are something that seems like they come every week almost as they get older. And so you put in all the time planning and all of that stuff. But what do you do after the party, especially if it's your child that's gotten all the gifts? What do you do? Thank you cards?
You're supposed to do thank you cards, but it's
We do
easier
thank you
said than
cards.
done. And we owe you a thank you card, by the way.
That's okay. All is forgiven. So what are some quick and easy ways to get thank you cards done?
If you have small kids, all that art that they do and that you don't know what to do with, it's all on the refrigerator.
you know
all
what
that
to do
stuff.
with it,
Right.
but you don't
know
want
what
to,
you'd like
right?
to do with it. Have them fold those suckers in half and sign it. Thank you, write thank you, and that's it. Easy. You're recycling,
All those little tips.
reusing, all that stuff. That's for the little kids. For the older kids, this is kind of cold, but it's harder to get them to do it. So when you hand them a card, their gift, hand them a thank you card along with it. So once they open their gift, then they can go ahead and do their thank you card right then. Easy peasy.
And it's out of the way. And I know that even though we're in a technology kind of age and people text and you call or you email, I am a big fan of handwritten thank you notes. So even if it's, teaching your son to write your grandmother a thank you card handwritten, I think it's really, really important. And that's for adults too, not just for the kids anymore.
Really,
so
but don't do the art thing if you're an adult. It doesn't go over too well.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. If you have a Mama's Gone Wild tip or a comment or a question or like my top whatever, you can email us at Mama's Gone
Talk to you
Wild.
about that.
Okay. mamasgonewild@gmail.com. That's mamasgonewild@gmail.com. I'm Nikki.
I'm Mary.
And we are Mama's Gone Wild, and we appreciate you joining us for Mama's Gone Wild TV on blackamericaweb.com.